I guess for me, I was proactive in the foresight. I had other career goals and ambitions outside of sports. So for me, I was just chipping away at university, one subject at a time, or two subjects at a time. Sometimes going away, self-study. I'd be away on a 5 or 6 week tour and sit down and do as much work as I could. I was undertaking a commerce law degree at Bond Uni on the coast, where I was fortunate enough to have a scholarship there through sport. And so I didn't actually have to go out, juggle work, juggle swimming, and also juggle study. I was fortunate enough I could do my sponsorship commitments, which financed me to pursue my sport at a professional level and educate myself for post-sport as well. So, and then of course sport itself. So I was juggling those 3 balls, which at times was tough. I had to defer from uni at certain lead-ups, particularly coming to the Olympics when there was just so much time commitment towards that, and obviously wanting to achieve your goals there, you needed a very narrow-minded focus. So I was always, I knew where I wanted to go beyond my sporting career, so I made sure I chipped away at something on the side to be able to give me another skill set or other opportunities outside of sport. Oh, very, very important. I think goal setting is just absolutely paramount to success. If you don't actually put something up there, you've actually got nothing concrete to achieve. So I think you've got to have something centralised where you go, yep, I want to achieve this in my sport, I want to achieve this in my career or my education at this stage, and they've got to be realistic goals. So, and you've got to put and I still do the post-sport, and I think this is just one of the skills that I've dragged over into my life post-swimming now, is that I still put those goals up on the wall. Now it's a bit more in education and career goals, whether it's in banking or television now. So yeah, I think that's just absolutely critical in terms of having a destination that you need to go to, and then having a strategy behind that process in terms of getting there and what it takes, and being realistic with that whole plan and with where you can actually see yourself, and determining whether it's a short or long-term goal. I guess for me, I was lucky to have those corporate relationships, so a lot of corporate speaking. So I was fortunate enough to, I guess, get that level of presentation and skill up and present fairly well. Working with charities and going out there and doing all that sort of stuff, chipping away at my education, and just learning, like I said, all those fundamentals that sport teach you in terms of being able to manage your time well and goal set and teamwork and the support networks that you need. So a lot of those times you're building up those skill sets without even realising it. They're just those leadership qualities, I think, are just coming through sport and just a byproduct of having a bit of success in that area. And then, for me right now, I'm still in that transitional phase, you could say, going from sport into professional life, but now it's trying to draw on a lot of those, and as well as add the skills that are necessary for me to achieve my goals and ambitions in that part of life now. Oh, well, it's critical. I think what happens to a lot of sports people is they create their identity through sport because they've been doing it from such a young age. Whether they get a small or a large amount of profile through that, I think often in times you identify yourself with sport, and that's where you get all your confidence from, and you draw on that. So then when you finish sport and you've got nothing there, there's this massive void. And I think a lot of athletes, their self-confidence goes down, even though they've got this great raw ingredients, this commitment and determination and mental aptitude that probably got them to this degree of success. That raw ingredients is there, but I think they can go through this transitional period and lose a lot of confidence in themselves because they haven't been conscious of filling that void or making that transition smooth or having an idea of where they want to go afterwards. So I think it's that network of friends and family that you have around you, and that foresight and that proactivity that you've got to have. You've got to be conscious of all these things, and I think a lot of athletes, they draw their identity from that, but they've got to make sure that they do it from having their family at home, on their own goals and how they see themselves and that security that they have within themselves. I think you lose that identity of sport very, very quickly. It's just like you retire, it's gone. There's no more of that. There's no more of that red carpet that can be rolled out that you can get as an athlete. That's something that you've only known because you've done it from such a young age. So I think you've got to be conscious of making sure that you identify your own self-confidence and your identity as an individual, and an individual that aspires to do this, and you don't get caught up in you know, missing sport too much, because I think you've got to be conscious of filling that void very, very quickly and building confidence up in other areas of your life. And I think the support network of your family is absolutely critical to make sure you're totally engaged with them, because they'll be there regardless of the success or level of achievement in either areas and going through that transitional phase. Well, yeah, I mean, I missed out on going into the workforce earlier, but that's it, you know what I mean? That's the only drawback, but I would say all the opportunities and wonderful things that I've experienced in sport, if I had to weigh up the pros and cons of delaying, you know, actually getting a professional life outside of sport until I'm 28 now, the pros and cons, I mean, there's just so many more positives that outweigh those negatives, and I guess I was conscious of my career post sport as well, so I made sure I was able to step into something very, very quickly and feel like there was a level of achievement there and something I could really dig my heels in and stick my teeth into, so I could feel like I was still moving forward with my life and not just sort of plateaued and stagnate at that point of finishing sport. So yeah, I mean, it's yeah, you've just got to be conscious of all those things and have that awareness. Going to Olympic Games, swimming in relays that have broken world records, or you know, sharing that with teammates, the friendships that I've built. I guess it is, you don't have to say that, you know, winning is a massive highlight or one of the huge highs that you can have, but I think now that I look back on it, it's a lot of other things outside of that got me to the point of being successful that I really draw on as I guess things that were really filling throughout my career, and that's all those relationships and being involved with the national team and sharing all those moments with so many friends that, you know, I've carried through, that I will carry through for the rest of my life. Not being successful. There's nothing worse than going to a meet and not achieving your goals or being well off your goals, and certainly thinking, what am I doing? And you've put so much time and effort into something, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're down here as opposed to you saw yourself being up here. So I think it's having the mental application and the psychology to be able to get yourself from this level back up to here. And I think that's probably been one of the challenges of any sporting career, is to rectify a bad result that has absolutely killed your confidence. I've had a little bit, and I guess probably just keeping in touch with that. I guess I was probably, like I said, proactive in knowing that there is a life outside of sport that you have to be conscious of. So for me, I've just touched on the ACE program, and they've sort of asked me, what are you doing? And I basically said this, this and this, and they said, well, that's good, you know, you're being smart about, you know, what direction you're taking outside of sport as well. So definitely touched base with it, but not actually formally done something outside of sport directly with them.